I wouldn't actually say that we should do that right now, but what you can do is you can click the blue invite button, and then you can search for your students. So if you have a student like Mr. Chrisman, and I hit search, and it's going to find him, and I can then invite him to the class. Okay, I'm going to hit cancel because I'm going to make him join the class on his own to save me a little bit of work. So that's under the students section. Under the about section, you can give a title to your class. This is a title. And then you could give it a class description. You could even say what room it's in, although most of this stuff doesn't really matter for us. Okay. The only other thing that really on here that you can do is you can add stuff to it. So you can add attachments, or this little triangle button. It looks kind of like a weird triangle. This button is to attach anything from your Google Drive. So if you click on this, it's going to bring up your Google Drive, and you can go through and you can say, all right, I want to add that file, and I'll call it lab report because I'm a science teacher. And then I click post. And so now that's on my page under the about section.
Can you show me how to do that again, Bill?
Of course.
Go to about.
Yep, go to about.
Add materials.
Yeah, you click add materials, and then you can just give it a title. You could attach a link to anywhere on the internet. You could attach a YouTube website, or you could attach something from your Google Drive or any file that you would want the students to download and look at. Yes?
So, okay, how do you add though? I know, same thing you were just telling him.
Let me hit cancel. All right, so if I'm at my About page,
I'm on About.
and I scroll down,
Yes.
you see where it says Add Materials?
No, I just have a title. I don't have that.
Does it say title like that?
Yep.
That's because you already clicked it. You clicked Add Materials, and it changes to title.
Okay.
So then you type whatever the title is,
Blah, blah, blah.
blah, blah, blah. And then you can click one of these things and attach a document. If you don't have anything in your Google Drive, then obviously don't click one of those because
Okay.
nothing's there.
I guess that's my question then. So how do we get things like off like our South Jeff drives?
I wouldn't say that you have to get them off of your South Jeff Drive, but as you're working with Google Classroom, you'll probably migrate more and more into Google Drive because
But there is a way to grab those attachments.
I would say yes, you can grab them and import them, though sometimes there will be problems where the fonts won't be quite right if you did like a PowerPoint thing or something like that.
So you have to recreate everything then if you want it perfect.
If you want it perfect, yeah, you might have to. Okay?
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, so that's the About section. Here's the stream. This is where the students would see all of their assignments and stuff. This is where you can add assignments and things like that. So first, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make an assignment. So everybody click on the stream button. All right, and then right down here you have two options. You can either make an announcement to your class, okay, like if you click on there you say, hey, this is great, or this is great. And if here you have the same options as you had before to attach things, okay. If I click here, it pops up all of the different classes that I have, and I can share it with multiple classes, so you don't have to go in and say, here's my first period class, here's my second period class, and it'd take forever. So you can check them all and share it with all of your classes. And then you could hit post, and it's going to put that in the little announcement. One slight issue with Google Classroom. The students can make a comment on this. So I tell them, you're not allowed to. Just because this is really for me to tell you things. It's not for you guys to chat about Facebook or whatever. So I tell my students, you're not allowed to use the comments on here. If you have a question for me, you should email me or something like that. Otherwise, the students will abuse that because there's currently no way to turn off comments. I've put in ticket requests to Google to say, please let us turn off comments. And actually, when I was at a conference recently, all of us opened up the thing and sent a comment at the same time. So hopefully they'll get the hint that we don't like that.
Can you delete a comment once it's been made or no?
I've never had a student make a comment, so I'm going to assume that you can.
I can. Yeah, I
You
have.
can?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I just told my students the first day, you can't comment, so don't bother. And so they haven't.
Who do you use the announcements for? Greg?
I don't really use the announcements. I'm just showing the feature. But it would be like if you want to say, hey, look at this cool website, or look at this thing, where you're just showing them something, but you don't expect anything in return. Or if you want them to do comments, that's totally fine, because when they put a comment on here, it's with their real name. It's not Fluffy Bunny 32 or whatever. All right? That's my screen name. Nobody uses.
Yeah.
All right? So you don't have to worry about, like, if a kid says something, you can say, hey, look, I have evidence that you said it. And so they're probably going to behave, you know. I wouldn't worry too much about inappropriate comments, but I just don't use it.
Is each announcement tied in with a particular assignment, or are those like two?
They're two separate things. Yeah. Yeah.
When you create your classes, do you create, in the class name, do you say, like for me, when I say algebra period 3, or do you say algebra and then in the section part put period 3?
I just do algebra period 3. That's like the name of the class.
Would it be beneficial to do it that way? Or?
I don't see any reason one way or the other that's better.
Okay.
You know, that's a good question.
Is there a chat feature at all?
Not on this part, no. Which is good. Anybody else have a question about what we've gone over so far? Okay. If you want to make an assignment, which this is how I actually use it, I'm going to show you that real quick as well. You can click assignment, and you can give it a title. Here's the title. You can describe it. Here's the description. And then you can give it a due date. Now, with the announcement, you can't give a due date. With the assignment, you can give a due date. So I'm going to say that this is due on the 15th. And you could even say what time it's due, but I don't bother with that. I just say it's due on the 15th. And then what you can do is, just like before, you can either leave it like this and assign it, and then the kids could attach things on their own, or you can make a document for them. So I already made a document for this class, and I'm going to click in my Google Drive thing, and I'm just trying to remember what G class. So now I can search in this little box, and it's going to find my G class example assignment, which I made earlier. And now this thing is the part that makes everything really cool. All right? Right here I can say students can view the file, they can edit the file, which that would be terrible, or I'm going to make a copy for each student. So now I click that button, and when I click assign, Google goes through, and all of the students in my class automatically get this assignment with their name on it, properly named, and shared with them. And all they have to do is go here to open it. Okay? So I'll let you guys, I'll give you guys like, I don't know, a couple of minutes to see if you can make an assignment real quick. You don't have to actually attach anything if you don't have anything, but you can just put one up there real quick and see if it works, and then ask me questions. All right? So go ahead and get started on that. That would make my life a lot easier, because I have 4 classes and I would like to just be able to assign it to certain labs. Instead, I have my 4 classes, and then I have my 6 labs. So I've got like a lot of classes.
Sections within
Yeah.
sections. Yeah.
It'd be nice if we could do sections within sections. Does anybody have any questions so far?
This is probably stupid, but if I want to attach an assignment, how do I make an assignment? Like, where am I taking my stuff from? Because this doesn't.
From
attach-
Google Drive.
So I have to make whatever I want to make on Google Drive to.
Yes.
attach that.
So if I went
Fine
to
about that, right?
if I went to Google Drive, and I'll just show this real quick. If you need help with Google Drive, just let me know, and I'll do that on a different day. Okay? So all you would do is you would click New, and then you would make a document. And then after you make that document, when you were here and you made an assignment, the document would be in here.
Okay, so like, this is what Tara was asking about.
Exactly.
If I want to switch over to this, I've got to do.
It's
A lot
pretty
of
easy
work.
to
Well-
copy and paste that. I just copy the whole thing, paste it
Oh,
into
you
Google
can do
Drive.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can copy and
Word is
paste.
pretty simple.
It's
Oh,
just,
okay.
if you had a lot of crazy formatting things that you've done, then it doesn't always look perfect when you bring it across.
But I don't know how to do it today. So you're saying that's not even okay.
Well, it depends on how much time we have at the
That's
end.
fine. It just it has
Plus
so
some
many
other-
layers of things that I.
And, yeah, and there's a lot of different other strategies there. I mean, if you're using Word for all that stuff and you save it as a PDF, basically you're taking a picture of a file. And Google Drive will accept not just Google Docs, but also accept PDFs and Word files. So you can kind of just bring them into your drive, so you don't actually essentially have to recreate them. You can just add them to your Google Drive. It's like a locker out there on the cloud.
And while that's true,
But a lot of the formatting and stuff might not look that great, right?
well, not necessarily that, but if you assign something that's like a Word document, because you can attach anything you want here, okay? You can attach an old PowerPoint, a Microsoft Publisher, anything you want you can attach there. This becomes a lot less powerful when you don't use the Google stuff, and I'll show you why in just a second, okay?
But I just have a quick question. You just said it takes PDF, right?
It does.
So if we scanned a paper that we've already created from the computer or sent it to our email as a PDF, then we can import it into here and it would keep its format?
It would keep its format, but again, the students wouldn't be able to manipulate that file.
And why do you want them to?
I'll show you that in a second.
Okay,
To keep everything digital.
gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure does.
All right, so now what I want you guys to, if nobody has any questions about making assignments, the next thing I'd like you guys to do is to join my classroom so that you can see what this is like from the student side, okay? So if you guys up here, you have a plus sign, you might have to go home. If you go to home, you see these little, this is called the hamburger button. If I can get rid of that. These three little lines is called the hamburger button. If you click on the hamburger button, and then you click home, it's going to take you to all your classes, and then you can click on the plus sign, and my class code is right here, okay? It's Y, I'll write it in big letters. It's Y, or I won't. Come on, computer. Ran, I need a new computer.
Just read it. Lowercase.
All right, it's, yeah, they're all lowercase. It's Y, V, K, 61G.
And that goes where?
That's going to make you, when you click the plus sign, you're going to join my class.
Find where?
Go home.
And then
I'm adding as a student now?
no, you're gonna join a class.
Yeah, just join my class. And that's Y, V, K, 61G. Okay, and now if I click on students, it seems like nobody's joined yet. After you type that in,
I did.
it might take a second. Let me hit refresh.
Are we G class?
Yeah, it should be G class. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now you guys are all in my class, so I didn't have to go through and do all that. Yes?
Is there a way to put them in alphabetical order?
No. They are in alphabetical order by first name, which is ridiculous. We asked about that at the conference, and they said, no, there's not a way yet. People have posted that online, and they have said, we're working on that. I think it's just a bunch of nerds didn't think about the real world.
Bill, will you read me that code again, please?
It's,
YBK.
yeah, YVK.
61.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Is anybody not in my class? I've got Abby, Autumn, Benita, Dave, Eric, Heather, Karen, Carrie, Kim, Krista, Lori, Margaret, and Shannon. Anybody not in there yet? Okay.
I just
Hit refresh, Bill.
There she is.
Oh, it just popped up.
And we're lost on hers. We don't know where she went.
Okay, I'm on my way.
So
We didn't do that on purpose.
All right, so let's go.
We do it too. Yeah.
You do and I don't. No.
Because there's no calendar here. I don't know. Academic calendar. That's in this right now. It's called.
All right, now that you are all in the class, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick assignment, okay? Just so you can see what it's like for your students. Basically, the